In order to simplify radicals, you're going to want to use a factor tree. So 75. Let's do a factor tree of 75. 25 and 3, 5 and 5. Since the square root of 25 is 5, we can take out a pair as 1, 5. So this becomes 5 radical 3. Your pairs go on the outside. That 5 represents one pair of 5s. The leftover numbers, the leftover prime numbers, go on the inside. I would like you to try these next 3 radicals. Pause the video and complete them before you move on to the next step. So number 1 is radical 20, number 2 is radical 54, and number 3 is radical 90. Now with multiplication, it's not too different. If you have radical 3 times radical 21, you may not want to multiply them. You might want to just build your factor trees right away. And now I can take out my pair of 3s, and my leftovers go on the inside. I'd like you to try the following problems. Number 1 is radical 5 times radical 10. Number 2 is radical 3 times radical 15. And number 3 is radical 6 times radical 10. Please pause the video and complete them before you move on to the next slide. Now we're going to include variables into the radicals. It's not too different, but we do need to factor tree the variables as well. So 25 is 5 and 5. So there's a pair. And then x cubed would be x, x, x. And y squared would be y times y. So now when we're looking for the pairs, we have our 5s, our x's, and our y's. That's the only one that's left over. So our final answer will be 5. We had a pair of x's, we had a pair of y's, and in the inside, x. I would like you to try the following 3 examples and pause the video. Do not go on until you complete these 3 problems. Number 1 is radical 50x to the 4th y. Number 2 is radical 32m n to the 5th p squared. Number 3 is 400 m squared n squared, all under the radical. When rationalizing the denominator, the whole point is to get rid of the radical in the bottom. To cancel a radical, you can multiply it by itself. That way, you end up with the whole number, like in this case, 27. Then up top, we have 18 radical 27, and we need to simplify this. So this becomes, from the 27, 9 and 3, 9 is 3 and 3. That means I could take out a pair of 3s, which will be multiplied to the 18. 18 times 3 is 54. And our leftover was 3, all over 27. Now we ignore the radical. And so we're looking at 54 over 27. We're going to simplify that. Well, that's 2 over 1, or 2. And so now we can put back the radical. Our final answer is 2 radical 3. Now I would like you to try these 3 problems. Radical 2 over radical 75. Radical 5/12. And number 3 is 5 over radical 10. Pause the video and complete these, and then you're done with your assignment.